Hi all, my name is Gaurav. In this video, we will talk about the dependency injection. So particularly in this video, we will talk about how the word would be without dependency injection. Okay, so that we can understand the problem without dependency injection. Then we will talk about what is dependency injection. So let's start. Let's mark a scenario. So say we have a e-commerce application and that e-commerce application has a different services. So one service is a, let's say, notification service. Okay. So this notification service, what it does, it sends the notification to users about the order updates. Like your order is booked, your order has been reached to particular place like this. Okay. And currently e-commerce application, let's say, decided that they will send an email notification to the user. So for that, they have a email service. They designed this email service, and inside this is just a mock, but inside this, they will have all the logic to send email. Now, this notification service will consume the email service to send the emails. So, how it will do that? So, probably there is one way to do that. What it will do, it will say email service, it will create an object of email service, and then it will call the method of email service which is send email, and that is how it will implement. Now this is, we are good. Now let's say tomorrow e-commerce application says no, I don't want to send email service. Now this time I need to start sending SMS service. SMS basically to the end user about the order updates. So now what we need to do, we need to update the notification service. So what we need to do, we need to do this line. We'll say, okay, now it is SMS service. So create object of SMS service, and then delete this line and call the function of SMS service, which is responsible to send SMS. So that is how it would be happening. Tomorrow, let's say some new service, WhatsApp service came and e-commerce application says no. Now I want to use WhatsApp service. So again, we need to update the notification service. Okay. So now challenges with this what? So this is just a mock. We are trying to understand the example, but in real world scenario, these would be really complex service, and this would be very hard to update all those service. Okay. So first problem is the dependency. A notification service is dependent on either email service or the SMS service. Okay. So this dependency, and the dependency, it is to send a notification. This notification service requires this email service object. So what this service is doing, notification service, it is creating email service object on its own. Its main job is what? Its main job is to send the notification. Okay, not the creating a object of its dependency. Because it is creating an object of dependency, so it is tightly coupled. So tomorrow if dependency change, again we need to update the notification service. So that's a one problem with this solution. Like we saw, if we want to use SMS service, we need to update the code here, correct, here and here. So this is the one problem. It is tightly coupled. Change in dependency would require to change in the consumer service, which is notification service. Second problem, let's say you want to test your notification service. Okay. Now you want to test a notification service, but this SMS service is down, or there are some issues in that. You won't be able to test your notification service. Why? Because ultimately, when you'll call this notification service, It will create an object of this, but there are some issues in this SMS service. So ultimately, you would be blocked. Either you would not be getting desired result, or you would be completely blocked because you are dependent on this SMS service. Okay. So this is a second problem. You cannot test, even though if it is SMS service is working or email service is working, then also to test your service, you need to unnecessarily execute the logic of these dependencies as well. Okay, which is not really required. You are not testing these services, dependent services. You just need to test your notification service. This is the second pain point. Okay, third pain point. So let's say if you want to mock a service. So instead of, let's say you say, okay, you are saying, okay, I'll create a mock service. Mock service means it's a fake service of, let's say, SMS type or email service, and you want to utilize that service to test my or your notification service. It won't be possible. I mean, it would be possible. Again, you will create a object of mock service. Inside that notification service, again you will update the code. Once you test that, again you will revert the code. So you will go in a loop. I mean, once you tested, your test is successful. Ideally, you should not be updating your code, but in that case, you would be updating. So you loses, I mean, that principle of testing, correct? So it is not possible to utilize the mock services as well. So these are the 3 points we have when we use this type of approach, which does not have any dependency injection, and basically consumer of the services is creating all the dependencies on its own, which is again the violation of single responsibility principle. So what does it say? It says, okay, your core job is to just to send a notification. So you just concentrate on your core job. You don't need to do any other thing. Okay. If you require any dependency to complete this notice send notification job, we will provide you. You don't need to worry about that. But here it is not happening. This service itself is creating all the dependency required dependency object. So that is a word without dependency injection. Okay. Next video we'll talk about how dependency injection solves this problem. Thank you. Till then, enjoy.